guys, long time no see. Today we're going to review the RITA Bluetooth headphone from the Tanchjim. When I got this pair, these are actually priced at the same as the Cambria. But everywhere I looked online, they are around $89. That's literally double the price. So are these earbuds actually worth it? Are they just ripping people off? Or is the quality basically the same as the Cambria? Let's find out. If you find this video helpful, please leave a comment saying "Good one, Jessie" to show your love. The whole box weighs about 1.1 kilogram, and that feel in my hand really gets me hyped for the unboxing. And the outer cover is just a super simple product photo, and here are the accessories. The headphones themselves have a very clean design. It's kind of like the Sony style, and it also reminds me of the Nothing Headphone Pro that comes out recently. The whole body has a matte finish, but the handband looks a bit plasticky. There are brand logos on the side and the top of the headband, but the foam inside is thin and pretty hard. It doesn't really block the pain from the plastic, so my head already started hurting after wearing them for just 1 or 2 hours. These are totally no-go if you need to wear headphones for a long time. The earpads use memory foam, and the protein leather feels super comfy. The thickness is just right, but they aren't very breathable. Honestly, if they had used this same foam on the headband, the whole thing would feel so much better. Even though the earpads opening looks a bit small, the inside is actually angled. It's way deeper on the outer side, so there is a lot of room there. Unless your ears are super big, they should fit perfectly inside. I really have to give them credit for this. Other headphones like the Moondrop Edge can feel really cramped and end up squishing your ears. The headphones weigh 290 grams, where the headbands connect to the ear cups. There is an open design that gives you about 7 mm of space to adjust the angle on both sides. Because of that, they fit really snugly. The clamping force is just right, and they are super comfortable overall. Even if you wear glasses, you are good to go. But keep in mind, they don't fold up. And the biggest thing you will notice after wearing them for a while is that the pain on top of your head. Just like most noise cancellation headphones at this price point, a lot of the noise cancellation actually comes from the positive seal of the design itself. The ANC averages around 25 dB, which I'd say is just okay. It's barely enough. Even now, it doesn't even come close to the Sony XM3, and that's an 80-year-old pair of the headphones. But honestly, I get it. Since you usually can't have top-tier sound quality and amazing noise cancelling at the same time. When you turn the ANC on, you'll definitely feel some ear pressure, but you will get used to it pretty fast. You can still hear a clear bass sound, and there are some noticeable white noise from the cancellation itself. It cuts out about 40% of the voice, so it's really only meant for a quiet office environment. That said, because the fit is so snug and the seal is so great, the high-frequency noise cancellation is actually better than the low frequencies. It cuts out about 50% of these sharp electrical noises, making them way less piercing and annoying. Compared to the Cambrian, its average noise cancellation is about 30.1 dB, which is a whole level higher than the RITA. It's way better at handling low frequencies, making those rumbling and trafficking noises sound much cleaner. Even though the graph doesn't show a huge difference in height, the Cambrian actually has a better seal in the real life, since it fits a little bit tighter on your head than the RITA. The overall high-frequency performance is just super real. And compared to the two options from other audio brands, the noise cancelling here is way stronger. It's better across all frequencies. Especially when I'm on the subway or at the mall, I feel like the edge just gets totally crashed. It basically has no effect at all. If we look at the Amplifier W830MB and the One More Flow Pro, their low to mid frequency noise cancellation is a bit weaker, but they are slightly better with high-pitched sound. Honestly, they are all pretty much on the same level. So if noise cancelling is your main thing, the W830MB is better for sharp and annoying environment, and the RITA is better for a normal office. And the Cambrian is the best all-rounder for any situation. The only trade-off is that it fits a bit tighter on your head than the rest. First off, The Rita comes with 8 totally different tuning presets based on Tanchjim's own sound curve and other popular ones on the market. They also let you customize your own tuning and even have a community for it. And the feedback when you make changes is super fast. You get so much freedom to play around with the sound, which is honestly a super plus and worth some extra points. I started off by trying the default official EQ with the noise cancelling turned off. The sounds really don't wow me. The bass is only boosted by about 5 dB, so it's super held back and lacks any real vibe. I totally get it if they were trying to be like the Moon Job, focusing on the vocals with less bass, but the Rita's vocals feel far away and kind of fuzzy. It just sounds weak, like you can't really catch the details. The high-pitched instruments aren't crisp at all and don't have any air to them. It honestly is just super boring. And I just give this sound a maybe 3 out of 10 at most. Once you turn on the noise cancelling, the sound gets a bit shaky. The mid drops a little and the deep bass and the treble gets a massive boost, even 10 dB on the bass, which really makes the instrument hit harder. It gives the sound that V-shaped vibe. It definitely feels more atmospheric, but it also makes everything feel a bit crowded and kind of muffled. The vocals aren't as buried anymore, so they actually sound clearer, although they have a bit of grainy feel. Still, the deep bass doesn't really hit that low, and the power is just okay. It feels a bit thin. The trebles are a bit dim, and the detail is pretty average. String instruments don't have much punch, although they do linger a bit better, and the overall vibe is pretty good. And the width of the sound is decent, but it's really lacks depth. It basically just feels like a medium-sized space. They probably figure out that most people usually listening with the noise cancelling on anyway, so they tuned the headphones specifically for that mode. Because of this, all my listening experience from here on will be with ANC turned on. Overall, the Rita's default tuning is mostly balanced, but it has a bit of an extra boost in the treble and notes to make pop music sound catchy. For the default sound quality, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. The description for the balance mode says it cuts the bass by 3 dB, but that's not what it feels like at all. I actually thought I messed up the settings at first. After switching back and forth a bunch of times, I realized that this mode is just 3 dB louder overall than the default tuning, so the bass doesn't actually change. It just cranks up the volume of the vocals and the trebles by 3 dB. The vocals are definitely more forward and feel like they are right in your ear, although in some K-pop songs, those S sounds get pretty sharp and hits a bit. The tone is solid and sounds really rich, and the mid-range detail is actually pretty good. You can clearly hear the vocals and where all the instruments are sitting. Plus, the voices sound a bit brighter and younger overall. The amount of the bass is pretty moderate, and the detail is actually good, but the punch is just average. When you hear the drums, they feel big, but they don't have that tight and powerful impact. The drums sound a bit loose and fuzzy. They doesn't go super deep either. You can feel the energy, but it's a little weak and soft. There is also some clear reverb, and the bass takes a bit too long to bounce back. And the treble are bright, not piercing, and everything sounds nice and clear, and the imaging is solid. There is some decent stretch in the sound, but it's kind of limited by the overall soundstage, so it's hard to really notice it. Still, the tuning feels pretty polished. If you're using this for your daily music, I definitely recommend the balance mode. It makes everything sound much more full and rich, so you won't get bored while listening. I even made my own custom version. I based the bass on the diffuse field response and the treble on the GM1. I also added a bit of the boost to the frequencies that handle the treble female vocals and string instruments to give it a really balanced and warm and light sound. Sadly, I didn't take a screenshot, so I don't have the extra parameters to show you, but you can just definitely try it in the community and if you're interested. And tuning-wise, the Cambrian and the Rita are totally different styles. The Cambrian is more about the bright vocals, It's clearer and more refined. If you love the kind of sound, the Cambrian will definitely surprise you more than the Rita. But the big downside of the Cambrian is that you can't customize the sound. If you want a deep and powerful sound, the Cambrian just can't do it. While the Rita gives you way more variety. And personally, I feel like a customer EQ feature is more like a backup plan for when the default tuning isn't great. You only really go in and fix it if you can't stand the original sound. Making this feature a main selling point isn't a great long-term strategy because any brand can copy it. When every brand starts offering the custom EQ, the most important thing will still be the brand's ability to tune the headphone correctly from the start. And plus, the starting point to actually using this feature is pretty high. The Rita's is even less user-friendly than the Moondrop's module because there are no slider or the buttons. You literally have to type in the parameters yourself. If you're not a total audiophile, you probably never use it. Also, it doesn't let you tweak your current settings. Every time you make a change, it resets back to the original curve. Once you hit the confirm, you can't see or edit your settings anymore. You have to memorize everything you typed in, and if you don't like the result, you have to start all over from zero. Because of that, the target audience for this is super limited. It's a lot of work even for experts. And if you're not an expert, you will just end up sticking with the presets, which just put them right back where they start with the Cambrian. Aside from the music tuning, they also have these gaming EQs for big mobile and PC games. They have this up all the time in their live streams. We tried out the Genshin Impact setting, and honestly, the Rita sounds like this. We see plenty of headphones with boosted trebles and bass, but I've never seen a pair where both ends just drop off. It's basically just the raw sound of the hardware. The music and the sound design in Genshin are actually top tier, so you really shouldn't be polishing your ear with sounds like this. It's pretty clear these game modes are just for marketing and aren't actually worth using. And honestly, the hype for the wild mode is way too much. They didn't even do a special design or tuning for it, and I would say it's basically unusable. It sounds bad. You can't use the noise cancelling, and I just wouldn't recommend it at all. Maybe in the future, the brand could include a DSP cable or at least let the sound go through the DSP while the headphones are tuned on. So to wrap things up, the Rita is all about that warm and atmospheric pop sound with a focus on female vocals. For $50, it's actually a really solid choice for Bluetooth headphones. But if they're more expensive in your area, you should definitely think about whether you have the patience to take the EQ yourself. It's really the only way to make them worth the price. If you're not into playing around with different sound settings, then the best part of these headphones basically won't mean anything to you. Another thing is the headband pressure. It's pretty bad. That thin layer of the foam just isn't enough to handle the weight, so you really can't wear these for a long time. And also, there is still a lot of room for improvement when it comes to the feature, the white mode, the app experience, and how portable they are. The battery life is actually pretty solid, and for cost, there is some decent noise cancellation. I'm going to drop a call test at the very end of the video, so you can check it out and see what you think for yourself. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Hope this video brings you some help. See you next time. Go on, Jessie. Hello guys, this is Jessie, and today I'm testing the call test of the Tanchjim RITA in the quiet room. How do you feel the sound? Is it clear? And now I'm testing the quality of the Tanchjim RITA in the wind noise. How do you feel the sound? Is it clear? And can you follow with me?